Can you hear me? Come on in. Come on in. Let me know if you can hear me. I had no sound on the last live, so I went out and came back in. Sometimes YouTube play with your girl like that, but it's okay. It's okay. Come on in. Good morning, Virtuous. How are you? Missed you. I hope them kids haven't run you too raggedy. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Just say when said I had no sound on my last live a couple of seconds ago, so I ended it. Can you hear me okay? YouTube be playing with me. Y'all know YouTube be playing with me. They be like, what kind of time she on? Yes. Y'all think YouTube, they see them titles, she finna be on one. I can just feel it in my spirit. I can just see it. She just got this twinkle in her eye. No, it ain't the holiday Santa twinkle. It's just she finna be on one kind of twinkle. Come on in, like the video, like, share, subscribe. Listen, YouTube, I don't know what to tell you. Hey, I don't know what to tell you. I done gave y'all a break for 2 months. Y'all done had 60 days to not have to hear my mouth. And I'm back. I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say, so thank you for joining. Come on in, like the video, like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna let some more people come in before we get started, y'all. It's so much. Whoo, child. You got the kids to deal with. You got the president to deal with. You got ICE to deal with. You got your empty bank account to deal with. It's so much. It's so much. I'm telling y'all. Listen, child, I had a woosah. You better woosah too. I've been telling y'all on these lives since I came back, there is no savior. I repeat, there is no savior. Too much, right, Virtue? It's too much. I know you know it's too much. It's too much. We tapped out. There is no savior. I repeat, there is no savior. The savior is within. We have to save ourselves. And I feel like now more than ever, people, that's starting to resonate with people. And they're starting to not really expect a whole lot from these politicians. So I already wasn't expecting nothing from. I promise you. I said on my last step, I don't know what kind of person or mindset it takes for somebody to be comfortably okay with dependent on the government to house them and to feed them. I don't know where that kind of faith come from. Because as you can see, you are F around to be on the soup line messing around with this U.S. government, and many people are. So to me, if that is not a motivator to get out there and get a job, do something to where you don't have to rely on whether or not if the government is going to be open or not, like that's what you need to do. Because what I have learned from this situation is that this government is not one to be dependent on. The U.S. government is not a government to be dependent on. And I'm going to say, I believe probably every nation probably feel like that really about their government. We should not be living in a situation to where food on the table is dependent on red or blue getting along. Like, y'all really think about that, because that's really the times that we're in. Like, there are so many people who depend on the government in a way to where it has a bearing on their actual well-being. Crazy, yo. Ain't that crazy? I don't know how them people had that kind of faith. I do not know how the people had that kind of faith. Hell, I'm gonna tell you, ladies, don't even be trying to have that kind of faith like that on that type of level in a man and a partner. Listen, when you know, you know. You need to be interdependent. You need to be resourceful. You need to have something going for yourself. So when things get funky, somebody start to play crazy, act crazy, you can tell them where they can shove it. It's nothing like being able to stand on your own and to tell somebody about themselves when they on some other type of stuff. And this is coming from someone who's been married over 20 years. Just celebrated the 21st, 21-year wedding anniversary October 1st. Don't be out, listen, don't be out here putting all your faith in just one thing. Just don't do that. I'm sure many of you know people who messed around and did that, what they say, F around and find out. They effed around and found out. So this message for today, honor students, because that's who we are over here. I affectionately refer to my subscribers as honor students. Why? Because we are lifetime learners, and you're going to learn something over here. I promise you're going to learn something over here. I'm going to deliver this message, this news in a way that I promise you ain't heard nobody else deliver it to you, and it's going to be all factual. So go check it. Go check anything that you hear me say. And I encourage you all, anything that you hear someone say, go research it for yourself. Do your best to get an understanding of what the freak is going on out here, because, child, it's going down. It is going down. President Trump is supposed to be speaking today, I believe, in Pennsylvania. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all aware of that. So when I was preparing for this live this morning, I was looking at a news feed from about 15 hours ago, and it was saying tomorrow. So I take it today. President Donald John Quavius Trump, which J stands for John Quavius over here, he is supposed to be speaking, I believe, in the state of Pennsylvania, and he's supposed to be talking about how wonderful the U.S. economy is. Yes, that's what I said. President Donald J. Trump said, he don't know what y'all talking about because this economy is on 10. So he is supposed to speak today about, I guess, the progress he's made from January 20th, not Inauguration Day, until now. So I'm not quite sure the time that is supposed to air, but tap into that. Listen to what he's saying. He's saying, listen, your gas is down, average $2.95 across 36 states. Yes, it is. It's under $3. So don't say I ain't done nothing for you. Eggs is down. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. This is what he said. The GDP is at a 3.8. So y'all peep this. Y'all know how people been hollering and we've been seeing all across the socials. Folks ain't got no jobs. Folks ain't got no money. Stealing from Peter to pay Paul. If you don't know what that it means, listen, child, check the last live. And so they're like, well, I was listening to Dave Ramsey. He was a guest on Fox News. Y'all know who Dave Ramsey is? He's like the finance guy. I hadn't heard him in a while, but Dave was talking. And he said that Gen Z needs to decide to not be victimized. So what he's saying is that the economy really isn't that bad. What's bad is these companies, these businesses out here, such as your credit card companies, the banks, the loan holders of your vehicles. That's bad. He said it ain't no reason why today someone who don't have a credit card and someone who, what else he said, don't have student loans. He said there ain't no reason why you can't be a homeowner. That's what Dave Ramsey said. He said, Gen Z, stop playing games. If you want to be a homeowner, you can. But this narrative, whatever, about things being hard or bad, it goes back to decision making, poor decision making. Listen, this is what Dave Ramsey said. He said that to them folks on Fox News. Go get into it. Dave said, because he was like, Pete Gang, let me tell you how I know that it ain't as bad as people say it is. Let me tell y'all listening. I can't be in the comments like that because y'all, I'm trying to live, and I'm not trying to give y'all a heart attack as y'all watch me. Dave said that Black Friday was like on 10. How many of y'all was out there in them streets or was keyboard thugging with placing orders for Black Friday? They said Black Friday, they cleaned up. The retailers cleaned up for Black Friday. So that means somebody got some money. Y'all go ahead and hit this like this video. Somebody got some money. Somebody lying. because they're like, yes, you got some people who don't have jobs, but it's on a micro level versus a macro level, micro on a smaller level. So when you look at it from just the totality, like the big picture, there are a lot of people who still got income coming in, and they base that off of just the way people are spending money. People are still spending money. They were like, listen, people still spending money. Were you one of those people spending money? And they was like, that goes against this whole narrative that people are down bad, people ain't got no jobs, people ain't got no money. They was like, nah, I mean, that's the case for some people. Yeah, inflation is here. It probably ain't going down, but at the same time, people got money in it for the second quarter. Y'all let me know. Do you got some money? Did you buy something on Black Friday, the weekend, Cyber Monday? Were you running your car? Were you swiping it? Because which one is it? You got some money or not? Because they were like, people were out there spending. These retailers did excellent during the over the weekend for Black Friday. They were like, listen, jobs are weakening just a little bit. They're saying, listen, it's just a little bit. Again, Dave Ramsey, as he was talking to the reporter at Fox News, he's basing it off of just I guess the percentage of people in all versus the percentage of people who are actually impacted by whatever it is. But he was like, y'all need to let go of these credit cards, period. He was like, cut up the credit cards. Dave Ramsey, listen, this is Dave Ramsey. He's the finance guy. Dave said, get rid of them credit cards. Get rid of the credit cards. Um, Cars, get rid of these car notes. Get you a vehicle that you can afford, because many of you out here driving vehicles that you cannot afford. He says, stop it. I say, stop it. So he was saying, like, people who have car notes. That's why I guess he says that how it's it's more of it's a company situation versus the total economy, because everybody don't have student loans. Everybody don't have credit cards, and everybody don't have car notes. So based off of that, I can see what he's saying, because that doesn't apply to everyone. And then it shows up with retail numbers where how people are still out here spending money. I'm sure it's many of you out here, it's 24 of you right now, like the video. Many of people are out here still spending money. And I'm sure that included some of these folks that ICE done rounded up. Lord Jesus, them people was out here spending their money. And now they got rounded up. They done spent the bail money. Listen, folks going through it. I say repeatedly on this channel, it is hard out here for a pimp. Pimping ain't easy. Pimping is not easy. Whoever said it is a mother freaking lie. Pimping is not easy. It is not easy. It is hard out here for a pimp. Ask the Haitians, ask the Vietnamese, ask Ilhan Omar, ask President Donald J. Trump. Y'all see President Trump? When I say that man cracks me up, listen. How many of y'all heard Trump? Maybe, I don't know if it was last week. That politician, one of them reporters from somewhere. Y'all know he can't stand the reporters unless they coming from maybe a Fox or Now News or something. That woman asked him if y'all been following the situation with the whole bombing of like that. Was that a Venezuelan boat or something like that with Hegg said, y'all know what I'm talking about? And apparently it was 2 bombings instead of 1, but it should have been 1, but it was 2. Okay, so they were like, yo, I hear what you talking about, President. I hear you. We didn't see the first video, but player, let me holler at you. Word on the curb is that there's a second video where it captured the second bombing to that boat. Can you go ahead and just go and run that on over there to us, so we can look at it and assess it? That man told that woman, well, I don't know what's out there, but sure, we'll release everything, that we have. Child, that had to have been, I know that was last week. I seen it. I didn't talk about it on this channel, but I seen it. So it's like a week ago. I saw it. I mean, I saw it. Fast forward to yesterday. This woman, this reporter, she like, okay, well, Trump, yes, Hegseth spoke yesterday at such and such, whatever. So, you said that you would be able to release the second video. Do you know? He was like, I ain't say that. Did y'all see that? I said, y'all, I had to stop and clutch my invisible pearls because I had seen the video myself. Y'all, this is why I say y'all need to go out there and fact check and look up stuff for yourself. Because when he lied to that woman, I immediately knew that it was a bald-faced lie because I had seen the footage. I seen the clip. I seen it. So he told that woman, y'all ever deal with somebody who will play you crazy? And if you didn't know better, you would think, like, I know y'all got some people that will play in your face. Y'all ever deal with a liar to where they be like, maybe it's some of your man, maybe it's some of y'all man or y'all woman, and you be like, I seen you talking to, you ain't seen me. And now they got you questioning if whether or not your prescription need to be updated. You like, damn, I know I had the new contacts in. I just left the optical place because I had just left from my eye exam, and I picked up my new prescription and it's stronger. Then I see my man talking to that woman, but he telling me, no, you ain't seen me. I don't know who you seen, but you tripping. You need to get out my face with that. And now you question like, damn, did lens crafters mess up my prescription? Did they give me somebody else's lenses or something? Because he's saying it wasn't him. I need to go on back to lens crafter because they didn't F up with my prescription. Because they got me out here accusing my man of some stuff that he said he didn't do. Y'all see what I'm saying? Where you'll have some people that can really, okay, so that's what your president did. So he told that woman, I ain't say that. That woman, y'all, that woman was flabbergasted. She was like, well, yes, you. No, see, y'all be lying. See, that's why I don't like y'all up in here, because y'all be lying. That woman was like, okay, well, anyway. So she tried to move on with life, circle back around to the statement. He was like, didn't I tell you that if Hegseth want to release the video information, I'll support whatever he want to do? See, that's why you not a good journalist. See, that's why I be calling y'all. See, that's why I be on y'all top, because y'all be out here lying, doing fake news. This is that stuff I'm talking about, why I say you got to go and look into things for yourself. Because I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, when I heard him do that, and I knew that he was dead wrong for that, because I had heard him already say that he would release the footage. When he told that woman she was lying on him and then just went in on her, I got to thinking, or asking the question to myself, I wonder what the staunch MAGA supporters think right now. Because I am sure many of them saw him, heard him make the comment that he would release the video footage of the second ship being bombed. Now, a week later, he's saying, I didn't say that. You're lying on me. Like, think about it, you all. So I'm like, okay, y'all let me know in the comments if you like, you ride or die with Trump. Like, what do you have to say? Mind you, I'll throw this out for those of you who may be new to my channel. I voted for this man. I voted for this man. But the thing about me, that if you're new to my channel, what you'll come to see is that I'm not 100% rider for everything that he does. So if I feel like there was some other type of stuff popping off, some shenanigans, I'm gonna speak on it. So that's kind of what sets this channel apart from the other channels, is that I don't really go hard one way or the other. It's kind of because I'm a independent. So it's kind of from like down the middle of me calling a spade a spade. Like, I'm one of those. So by nature, I'm going to call something out, whether it's good or bad, regardless of who you are. Whether you my husband, my kids, my mama, my sibling, whoever it is, I'm going to call you out on something where I feel like you're doing wrong. And that's what I do a lot on this channel. Sometimes YouTube don't be here for that, so they'll just shadow ban me, but it's okay. So when Trump did that, I didn't like that because I'm like, sir, like, okay, sometimes people probably do be lying on you, but this isn't one of those. This isn't one of those. So it takes a hit on your credibility. To me, it impacted his credibility that much more. Because ever since he did that, all the news programs, they've been running the clip of him saying, they'll do it in this order. Either they'll show him calling the woman a bald-faced lie. He basically called her, she a bald-headed liar. So they'll run that clip. And then afterwards, they'll run the clip of when he said he would release the video, the footage. Or sometimes they'll run the one where he said he'll release it. They'll run that one first. And then they'll follow up with the video where he tells the woman, I ain't say that. It's not a good look. So now when you get in the comments, you know, because that's what I do, and I urge you all to do it on these videos, get into the comments because you'll be able to do a temperature check to see how people really are feeling out here. When you get in the comments, people are questioning his mental capacity, like, because they're like, okay, did he genuinely forget? Or did he misspeak? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those. They're like, maybe he forgot. His memory is just, you know, because people say they just see. They're like, you know, maybe he just forgot. Or maybe he misspoke and he just made a mistake. Like, which is it? Which is it? So for those of you who may not be aware, or, you know, as far as the background, the root of the lie. So back in like September, Pete Hegseth ordered the military to bomb a boat. I think it's a Venezuelan boat. Y'all can correct me. Let me know in the comments. Was it a Venezuelan boat? But it was a boat, and the U.S. government, they're like, it was people coming over with like drugs in the boat. So Hegseth had gave the order to the military, yo, I'm gonna need for you to go ahead and do what you need to do. Y'all know how you say something without, listen, I need you to handle that. The message that Hegseth gave to the military was, yo, I need for you to handle that expeditiously. And I don't need no man standing. I need for you to handle this situation like 50 Cent handled that documentary on Diddy. I need all of that. I need it to be like that. No stone left unturned. Y'all, like, that was the message. I'm trying to translate because some of y'all don't be understanding this politics, so I'll be trying to like kick it in a way that you kind of understand, like when somebody trying to stand on business. So the way 50 stood on business, that's how Pete Hegseth was standing on business, and how he wanted that, you know, that general, whoever was to place the orders, he wanted them to stand on business. So he was like, listen, nobody needs to be left being able to sing Jordan Sparks, Chris Brown, No Air. No air, no air. He said nobody should be able to sing No Air. Nobody. So listen, they was like, play it, Chief, I got you. I understand. Bet. Bet means okay. Bet. So they went ahead and dropped a bomb. Man in charge like, oh snap, yo, I see two left. That man go cuss me out. He said he don't want nobody's left. I see two left. They hanging on the side of the boat. Like they effed up. You know, they jacked up. They looking hurt, but they can still sing No Air, No Air. They can still sing Jordan Sparks, Chris Brown. They can still sing. The order was, we need to do it 50 style. We need to do it 50 style. So they was like, we gonna have to send another one in. We gotta do it again. Listen, Pete Hegseth said no man standing. So they dropped the second bomb, y'all. So there lies the problem. So apparently, you got rules when it comes to things like this. You got rules. And the rule is basically, y'all ever hear, I guess it comes from, y'all know that saying, don't kick a man when he down. Because 50 is kicking the hell out of Diddy while he down. But not everybody kind of roll off of the same rules. 50 like, what is that? Don't kick a man when he down. F that heat. I'm about to damn do wrestling moves on him. I'm about to step on the damn ropes and then y'all know how the Hulk Hogan used to do. Like that's that 50 energy of what he's doing to Diddy right now. So Hex had that same energy, y'all, for these people in this boat. So the general was like, bet, I understand it. I understood the assignment. Listen, I got you. I did it. I stood on business expeditiously. Where my raise at? Where my medal at, where my patch, all that extra stuff they get them people in the military for doing what they do. He like hand it over. So again, back to the issue. The issue is that according to the military, if a man is down, if you see that you have eliminated kind of the threat, stop the threat, then you're not supposed to still kind of come back in on them and be like, y'all know how somebody, you didn't already get this. Listen, why you gotta be, you didn't already effed them up. Why was we doing this? You won, player, you won. Why is we doing this? So we did we did that. And they were like, wait a minute, you doing too much. I mean, like, I know his ear was hanging off. He only had one. Listen, you didn't have to finish him off like that. I know the So the person who was wherever giving the orders to drop the bomb was like, yo, like, I was just like following instruction. Boss told me, listen, nobody need to be singing Jordan Sparks, Chris Brown. No air, no air. When I seen that there was two capable of still hitting them notes, I had to go ahead and authorize another one to be dropped. Bet, listen, I'm following instructions. So Pete Hegg said two things. One, the first time when they was questioning him, he was saying, listen, we had to do what we had to do. They was doing the most. They was bringing over drugs. Listen, we had to handle our business. Then as things started to kind of be investigated further, he switched to, well, listen, after that first bomb, I don't know what happened because I had another meeting to run off to. Y'all imagine you being that person who was following instructions because the holidays coming up, you trying to get that extra bonus. You trying to do what you told. And then the person comes back and be like, well, I wasn't there for that part. I was only there for this part. So I don't know what ain't that effed up, y'all? Ain't that effed up? Like, really, y'all think about it. Imagine doing some ish, following an order that your superior gave you. And then when the smoke come in and the heat come on you, your superior is like, yo, I mean, I don't know about all that. I mean, I was on the toilet. I remember that day because I had that Pepto-Bismol with me. I was sitting on the bowl. I had my cell phone in one hand, the Pepto. I remember that day. I don't know how he did that because my stomach was effed up. I wasn't feeling good. I was not feeling good. So that's how I know that I don't even know what happened there because my ish was effed up. Y'all know how when your itch effed up and you bent over praying to all the gods because your ish is effed up because y'all had just had that potluck. He was like, we just had that potluck, and I remember because I ate them green beans that look suspect, but listen, they look like my wife's green beans, so I ate them, and it effed me up. I remember. Yep, I wasn't in there at that one, so I don't know what to tell you. So basically, in a nutshell, that is what Hegseth's stance is. I don't know about because I was over in the third stall in the bathroom. I don't know. So he got the colonel, whoever that was giving the orders to his people below him. He got this man looking crazy because now it's just like it's people looking at him. But here's the thing. This is where common sense comes in there. even though Hegseth is speaking this way, like, listen, I don't know what you're talking about. I was on the toilet with the Pepto. The world know that is some bull, and they're not letting up off of him. Y'all, they treating Hegseth like they treating Trump with these Epstein files. Y'all see off that man's neck over these files? That's how they treating Hegseth, because they were like, we sick of you. We've been sick of you since when you had inserted that journalist in that group chat earlier this year. You should have been got your walking papers. But nah, player, they decided to still keep your income and still on payroll because you got a wife and some kids. So they don't want to take your check, but you still effing up. You still effing up. We tired of you. We tired of you. You got to just go on and get in the line, apply for Section 8 EBT because you need to be without a job, because right here you are showing complete incompetence. So this is how people are feeling about Hegseth and his superior, which is President Donald J. Trump. A lot of people are not here for either one of them with how they're moving. Now, with me, Hegseth was on some other stuff, so they can just listen, go on handle him. Trump. See, let me tell the part that I'm just like, then Trump, I see you. I see you. I see you. Is when it comes to this immigration stuff. So Trump then made his way to Louisiana. Y'all, ain't nobody told me that it's a bunch of Vietnamese people living up in New Orleans, running around with who is that? Master P, Juvenile. Like, have y'all ever heard some Vietnamese speak? Like, listen, child, this is like, when did they stop? How, Sway? How can you close your eyes listening to a man from Vietnam, Vietnamese, and he's juvenile? How? Where they do that at? Only in damn America. Because you know what? They done dropped that off in the hood, and that's who raised him. He done got raised by Sheila, Brenda, Charles, and Quincy. So now they're Vietnamese men over there talking about, hell, if we want to get help out here, I can send myself back. I don't need for you to be rolling up on me, telling me that I need to be up. This is America. You can't make this issue. You really can't. I'm like, so now the folks from the nail salon, they done got caught up in the shenanigans. Lord Jesus, who finna be doing nails in the NOLA? Who gonna be doing nails? I said, damn, not them coming for the Vietnamese. Lord Jesus. Everybody on the chopping block. Even American people on the chopping block. Y'all been seeing them stories about, they said it's been a lot of arrests of American people, U.S. citizens. They've been getting hemmed up. And then they'll be held for upwards of like 24 hours. And then somebody kind of got to come through to bring their little documents to show that they are at home. So it ain't no sending them home because they are at home. Y'all seen that out there? Y'all see some of them women taking off running, hollering, like they runaway slaves because ICE rolling up. Oh, y'all, it is crazy. You can't make this ish up. You cannot make it up. I said, when they get to NOLA. Now, I knew they was in, what was that, Massachusetts? Where is that Twin Cities? I knew they was over there. Where else were they at? I'd been seeing them Chicago, but I'm like, when did they get to the NOLA? When did they get to the NOLA? When? And how? Ain't nobody told me it's heavy Vietnamese people out there in the NOLA. Ain't nobody told me nothing that the Vietnamese is out there running around with cash money record members. Ain't nobody told me nothing, but they are. They are. Right now, the Department of Homeland Security the quota is to arrest 5,000 illegal immigrants. 5,000. As of last night, my research showed that they were up to about 3,800 people, more than a couple of dozen people who had been arrested by ICE. I done told y'all the goal is 5,000. So we still got a long ways to go. So they might be there. ICE might still be there. I don't know. Is the Saints playing the Falcons again? Y'all know Christmas Usually in sometime in December, the Saints and the Falcons be playing against each other. Is it sometime like so they finna be at the game too? Just be vigilant. Ice finna be at the game too. Ice finna be at the game too because they need to hit their 5,000. But here's another thing, y'all. Y'all remember I've been talking about Christy Noam. She's the head over, centered around this whole roundup. What's her title? She's the U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security, something like that. Y'all, they saying Christy's job is on the line. Word on the curb is that Christy Noem's job is on the line, and she may be replaced by next month. By the top of the year, it might be a new person in charge. I've been seeing. I saw pictures of two men who may one of the other may replace her. One of them is like the head guy of, I think, temporary head guy of the Homeland Security or something like that. But apparently, what's been said is that Trump is not happy with the progress of the number of detention centers being put up in the U.S. He's like, because Christy, that's her area. She's over having these detention centers built. And they're saying that Trump's not happy with how quickly these detention centers are being built. So he like, you ain't doing your job. You got to go. You ain't on your 50. You don't have that 50 energy. Basically, the new energy is the 50-cent energy. If you ain't got 50-cent kind of energy, Trump says, I can't do nothing with you. What they say, if your man ain't got that 50 energy, I don't want him. Trump's like, if you ain't come with that 50 energy, I don't want you. So word on the curb is Christy Noem not coming with that 50 energy with building these detention centers. Already, they have rounded up, what's the numbers? Let me see, like 2 million, more than 2 million illegal. So here's the thing. More than 2 million illegal immigrants have left the U.S. 1.6 of them voluntarily deported. Y'all remember earlier this year, and I talked about it on this channel. So if y'all want to know and be in the know what's going on, subscribe to this channel. They were offering $1,000. They're still offering it. So y'all spread the word. If you need spread the word. If you hear illegal in the U.S. and you short on some change, holidays coming up, you can get you a cool 1,000 if you self-deport. They are still offering that holiday special. We're going to call it a holiday special. They still offering the holiday special. $1,000 if you raise your own out of here. $1,000. So they had this little app that they launched earlier this year. So you go to the app and be like, yo, I done made it to my destination. They can tell through the app if whether or not you over in Colombia, wherever you went, and they can be like, all right, then bet, and then go and run you your Cash App. Run you your Cash App, your Zelle, your PayPal, your hard copy check in the mail. I mean, flown by a pigeon in the air. However, listen, they said, listen, we like Western Union over here. We gonna get it to you. So I was on the Department of Homeland Security website this morning. It's still saying that they still offering that holiday special, 1,000. They still offering the holiday special. So as far as arrests, over 500,000 of them, of the people who have left, has been the result of like arrests, like what we seeing now. But a good bit of them, it looks like the vast majority of them self-deported, that was new information for me because I knew people had been self-deporting, but I didn't know the numbers as of late to know that it had exceeded the number of people who have been arrested. So I think that's smart. What y'all think? Like, think about it. If you were in a situation, you were someplace, and they're like, yo, you got to raise up out of here. You watching the news, you watching the media, you seeing how they rounding up folks. They're offering, hey, if you just do it, just self-deport, just leave on your own, we'll give you $1,000 plus give you a Spirit ticket to wherever. Would you do it? because y'all, like, these people that's getting rolled up on, they running for their life, like they didn't know them folks was coming for them. So my thing is like, if you would have self-deported, you would have got you $1,000. What is that, a band? $1,000. You would have got you a little airplane experience. Hell, a lot of them probably never even probably ever been on an airplane. So you would have got flued out, courtesy of Spirit. You would have got flued out. And then I seen clips earlier this year, like before you was getting on your plane, they had a little table for a little stuffed animal toy that your little child can grab and pick, so they'll have something to hold on to and cuddle with on the plane. You see what I'm saying, y'all? That was the holiday special before the holiday. They been had this holiday special going. So folks can't play crazy acting like, well, I didn't know they had that offer. Y'all also remember when they had that app out there? There was a guy who had created this app, this ICE app, to where you can download the app, and people on there, kind of like, to me, it reminds me of like Waze. Y'all know like Waze, that like a GPS system, Waze, and it'll tell you, y'all, them popos up there, so you might want to chill. You might want to chill. I wish somebody had told me that back last month, because I sure opened up a ticket of speeding in a school zone, and y'all, $130. But anyway, I digress. Listen, the app said that, listen, it'll tell you when them folks was in your area. If the folks was in your area, the folks is ICE. If them folks was in your area within 3 miles of your location, it was like, yo, I'm playing. You might want to hit that other Walmart that's going the other direction. I know it's gonna take you out your way, but if you ain't ready to get hemmed up, you might want to go ahead and go that other way. I did not know, you all, that the Trump administration had basically put Apple in a chokehold and made them remove that app. Did y'all know that? I did not know that. I didn't know that. I knew of the app because I reported it on my channel. I didn't know that Trump then was like, yo, I'm gonna need for you to take that like, y'all know how the mafia roll up on you? Like, Trump basically rolled up on Apple like, yo, you know how your mama give you that look and don't start now, won't be none type energy? That's how Trump apparently rolled up on Apple, and Apple folded. Sure did. I learned that this morning. So they're going to be the news outlet I think I was watching, it might have been NBC, but they were like, they're going to be interviewing the guy who created the app, because he was like, okay, Apple may have folded, but it ain't nothing weak over here. So I don't know if he's filed a lawsuit or whatever, but he's supposed to be, I guess soon, sitting down with one of these news networks to just tell his side of the story, and basically on his F Trump, Apple, like, really? So, but y'all, I didn't know that app had gotten removed. Wow, crazy. What else going on out here? So, y'all, I didn't know that fraud activity is that Massachusetts. Well, Ilhan Omar was that Massachusetts where all that was taking place with the Somali people. Y'all, I didn't know it was that bad as far as with the fraud. So I finally, over the weekend, was able to really deep dive into it to get an understanding of what the freak was going on. Child, these people know they was wrong. How you gonna incorporate the autistic in your hustle? How are you gonna incorporate the autistic in your hustle? They had like 3 different hustles going on. The first hustle was centered around like feed the hungry or something in Somalia. So they start, but here's the thing, y'all. This is how when people get greedy, because these hustles went back to like pandemic, like 2020, 19, like back then. So one of the hustles was like this feed the children type campaign or whatever in Somalia. So they went to the local officials like, yo, we need y'all to, we need some money because these kids over in Somalia, they're hungry. They hungry, and this is where you come in at. So the government was giving them millions. They might have started out with a cool, maybe out 3 million, get a little something, something to get them going. Over the next several years, maybe 3 years following that, each year it would be like 50 plus million more. Like it was like doubling, like crazy. That's how we got to like about $1 billion between the fraud with all the money, because every year, like it was like more and more money that they were asking for without having to show any receipts, without anyone going to fact check, without anyone going to interview to see if anybody, folks really hungry. So that was one. The second fraud case, scheme was centered around, I think it was centered around housing. Now, mind you, these people who scheming, they living like fat rats. They got nice houses, cars. Some of these people, y'all, I've seen still actually have the houses that they bought with the fraud money. Where, let's just say it's a man, he had a wife and kids still living in that house. The man, wherever, whether he, locked up or whatever, but they still have the house. So you have that. Child, let me tell you about the third fraud situation. So the second one centered around housing. These folks need a place to live. We need money. Y'all need to give us some money so we can get them some housing. So that was the second hustle. Every year again, they would go back, they would get greedy. Because in the beginning, when they were asking for money, it wasn't like a lot of money it was a lot, millions, but nothing compared to the amount they ended up getting. So it would start really low. But the sad part about it is that year over year, as they're coming back and asking for more and more money, people weren't asking questions like they should have. People were asking questions. They was just signing a check. The third fraud scheme was them saying, hey, we need money to support Somali children who are autistic. Now, why y'all got to throw the autistic in it? We need money to give to a program, because we got this program, this nonprofit for the autistic. So apparently there wasn't a lot of kids, because there's like 80,000 Somali people in Massachusetts. I believe that's the state. It's like 80,000 of them. Apparently there wasn't a whole lot of Somali kids who were autistic. So they're like, all right then, we got to get our numbers up. We finna go door to door. Y'all know how the Jehovah Witnesses will go door to door. They was on a Jehovah Witness. We finna go door to door, talk to these folks, and see if we can talk them into agreeing to work with us and say that their child is autistic, and we'll throw them a little something, something. We'll throw you a few dollars. We just need your baby, your full name, probably social, but we trying to get this money. So this is where you come in there at. So these families was like, bet. I got 5 kids over here. How many you need? Like, bet. So they got their numbers up on lies, because these families were like, yo, like, I say, little Rodney, autistic, he bad as hell, but he can pass. Hell, he be working my nerves, but he can pass. He sure enough can pass. So they went ahead. So that's how they got their numbers up, with these families agreeing to have their child documented as autistic. Ain't that some bull? So here's the thing. This is how kind of everything kind of came out in the open. People who worked for like the local government in that state, like they were seeing claims and things coming in that was needing to be paid out, centered around these projects. So it was like all these claims, these things coming in, and they were like, yo, like, this is too much. We're going to have to shut these programs down, because we're getting these claims of just things taking place, and we got to pay out on them. They were like, oh, Susan, I'm going to need for you to shut your trap hole. Susan and Linda, I'm gonna need for y'all to shut your trap hole because y'all ain't finna mess up this plug. Because you can F around and find out if you want to and mess it up, and nobody, y'all won't be getting voted back in office because we deep out here. We Somali, we deep out here. So you need to go on ahead and do what you need to do, handle your business, pay out these claims. But I'm gonna need for you to shut your trap hole. So they, you know, Linda, Susan, and Supervisor Karen, they appalled. So they go to Waltz. That was a waste of time, like talking to a wall. They go to him and they like, yo, Waltz, like this is what's going on. Like you need to handle this. Child, why Waltz basically had this energy of like, you heard them, you heard the people. There is nothing over here to see. Y'all know what that means when they say there is nothing over here to see. That means mind your effing business, turn your head, put your head down, but there is nothing to see. So that is the problem because these workers, they were like, yo, we raised these concerns up as we were supposed to, but they try to play us crazy. They was on their Trump. Remember Trump told that woman, I ain't say that? Because y'all know folks will play you crazy all day long if you let them. So Waltz was like, listen, I mean, just pay, damn, Karen, pay the claim out. We trying to eat. You about to mess up the whole spot. That was the energy they said that Waltz had towards them. So they was in their feelings about that. So they like, yo, he can get whatever he got coming to him because we went to him. We went to him before the amount of fraud got as high as it did. But they didn't want to hear what we had to say, and we believe it's because it was driven around politics, because this is basically the energy, the Somali people, the energy, what they were saying. It was like, yo, you need our votes. Y'all, I didn't know the Somali people had heavily backed Trump in the last election. Did y'all know that? These same people that he's saying are garbage, they country stink, they worthless people. Did y'all know that they had backed Trump? Yes, I learned that because there was one guy, he's like a community leader or something like that over the Somali people, and there was clips and things shown with him speaking out back when, when Trump had his campaign going, him being at some of the campaign, appearances, the meetings, things like that. Like he was there, he was boots on ground. And Trump, it was on record showing Trump saying nice things about the Somali people when they the news outlets was like, yo, how do you feel about the Somali people, like strongly backing you, like they riding hard for you? And he was like, yo, like, these people, yeah, they know what it is. They know I'm the man to make things better for them. He was just saying nice things also, like, these people, these are, nice people and they deserve better. And basically Biden just had everybody down bad. So I'm about to be in here and be the savior. The Somali people ain't crazy. They know I'm the one. I'm their guy. Fast forward to now, Trump like, get them all the hell up out of here. They stank. They country stank. Y'all, like literally, this is what he's on record of saying. They bad people. Like he done lumped them all together. He has lumped them all together. Now, with this whole fraud situation that I've described, the vast majority of the people involved were Somali people. There were just a couple of non-Somali people. So basically, it was just Somali people just running this ish. There was like a white woman who headed one of these. I told you it was like 3 different fraud programs. She was heading like one of them. She might have been over that one dealing with feeding the hungry over in Somalia or whatever. But it's almost like maybe you're gonna have your token white person, that token person that's different, that might be like the face of it. They might be like, hey, Brenda, we need you because we know you got connects, and they ain't gonna kind of turn you away like they might turn us. So y'all know what I'm saying. So I feel like her white energy was used with it all to kind of make people feel more comfortable with the shenanigans, because y'all know sometimes it makes a difference on who's doing things. Y'all know how them doggone loan them approvals go, to where, okay, if somebody that look like me go up and request for some money, but then somebody who look like Karen go up, we might have different experiences. So I feel like the non-Somali people, that was used as a benefit in these schemes because it had people to feel kind of more comfortable as they were maybe asking for like more money and things. Because y'all know in the US, if it's white, it's right. Y'all ever heard that saying? If it's white, it's right. And I feel like this is just some of the things, that was taking place where why they had a kind of sprinkle of, some white folks here and there, but it was vast majority Somali people. So they were kind of like the mind behind it all. Like they were behind all these things. They had to connect to the other Somali people. But to me, the white people had to connect to the white people who was able to sign these checks. Y'all see what I'm saying? You got to work together. So you had the Somali people like, yo, don't worry about Karen. Don't worry about this. I'm about to go talk to my people and tell them like we need them to do this and that. We got this. Your job is to go on into that office in that building in there and talk to Tom and Sharon and let them know that we need some money. Y'all see what I'm saying? This is what was happening. This is what was happening. And I believe the total amount of money over the years totaled to close to around $1 billion. I can't remember the exact amount, but child, it was a lot. It was more money than what Diddy got left. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot of money. And that money is gone. That's taxpayer money. So Ilhan talking about, well, oh yeah, so some of these people who participated in these fraud schemes, they donated money to Ilhan Omar's campaign. So she was like, well, I gave back the money. I guess, everything came out and the paper trail traced to some of these people giving her money. She said, that's what she said. She was like, she went ahead and returned the money that was donated to you. Y'all let me know in this chat. Do y'all believe that Ilhan was not aware of any of these fraudulent schemes going on? Because also what's been said is that these people who were doing this fraudulent behavior, the monies that was being made, much of these monies was being sent over to Somalia to fund a terrorist group, a group over there. Do y'all think that's likely? Because Ilhan saying, that's a lie. Oh, okay. She's saying that's a lie. Monies wasn't going over there to fund a terrorist group. But y'all let me know, because it was a lot of money these people was getting to. What were they doing with this money? It's only so many doggone houses. Y'all, they was getting to it. So I don't believe that all the money was just going towards houses and cars. It was too much money. And it was maybe about around 80 people maybe involved, something like that. So, but it was like million, like I said, it was close to $1 billion. Y'all can look up the exact dollar amount, maybe put in the chat. It was a lot of money. I do not feel like all that money was staying here in the United States. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe all that money was staying here. To me, it makes sense for a good bit of that money to be sent back to their home. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. So Ilhan Omar is just like, well, Trump can try to have, us move if he wants to, but we're citizens and it ain't gonna work or whatever. So that's where we're at. That is where we're at on that. If whether or not like he's gonna be able to do what he's saying he wants to do with having the Somali people removed, because he's over there. I've seen, news clips where there's Somali people. They're saying they're being questioned for no reason while they're out and about, and they're having to show their passport. So right now, that's the directive they're giving, which I believe is smart for anyone right now who may look like they may be a foreigner. If you do have paperwork such as passport or whatever, it would behoove you to walk around with that on you so you can show it. But some of these people have said, hell, they didn't got hemmed up and arrested and they had their stuff with them. Maybe it was in a car, whatever, but they still got hemmed up. But I'm going to say at least, carry like us here in U.S. American, we carry a driver's license. You should have your ID on you. I feel like if you don't have that, but you have a passport, you need to have that. You need to have all your paperwork. Just go ahead and carry a little folder with all your documents. You need to have as much as you can get your hands on to show that you're supposed to be here, because I've seen multiple cases where there's people who said, hey, they were approached, treated badly, and they're U.S. citizens. And I believe it's happening. I mean, I believe it's happening. But at the same time, you all, I don't feel like ICE can roll up on people the way they do without it being done in a profiling or discriminatory method. Because I do not believe that everybody that ICE is rolling up on, they're catching them doing something wrong at that time, which gives them reason to roll up on them. You see what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, they can't come out saying, listen, I rolled up on Carlos because I heard somebody call him Carlos. He had brown skin and he was short. Like, they can't be saying that. So that's why I think these other things come into place as to the reasoning behind, well, if we got probable cause, no, y'all, the probable cause is while being brown. Walking while being brown. That's the probable cause. Now, with that being said, is there any other alternative way for ICE to do what it is they're doing on the level that they need to do it? No, I don't think so. I mean, I feel like they got to go off of the aesthetics. Like, but even though it's, that if you're going off aesthetics, it falls underneath discrimination. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like what they're doing, it falls underneath discrimination, but they can't come out and say we're doing it this way because it falls underneath discrimination. And many people argue that most of these people who they've rounded up, they haven't had criminal records, because they said the Trump administration said we're going to round up, our priority is going to be murderers, those who are people, and dealers, narcotic dealers. That was who they said they was going to prioritize. So many people believe that's not what they did. But here's my thing. If you are here illegally, you broke the law, right? So technically you have committed a crime. You have committed a crime if you are here illegally. You have committed a crime if you overstayed. And many people, they came over here legally in a legal manner where they were, there was documents on them, and it had an expiration date. And that expiration date came and went, and they still stayed. Like, if you're moving like that, to me, like, that's a crime. But it's not the crimes that I guess the Trump administration, I guess, ran or initially came out the box saying, hey, these are the people we're going to prioritize. So I get that. But they have gotten those people as well. Basically, they like everybody can get this work. Like, they've been like equal opportunists when it's come to brown people. Let's call a thing a thing. They've been equal opportunists when it's come to brown people. Because I haven't seen, y'all can let me know in the comments, have y'all seen any stories being ran on people with people who look like Trump, his color, his group of people being rounded up through this immigration thing? I mean, because I haven't seen it, but I'm not going to say it hasn't happened. It's not happened. I haven't seen it. It's heavy the brown people. So I know you got people from Europe, like from all different countries that are here in the U.S. Do y'all think that all the palm colored people that are here in the U.S. are here on the up and up, are here legally? I'm just asking. Y'all let me know. Y'all think they on the up and up, but the brown ones aren't? Y'all think they haven't overstayed? Y'all think the ones that are here, they're here, the expiration date haven't gone and went? Like, do y'all think that they're legit here and they paperwork is in order? because I keep seeing these stories dealing with brown people who don't have their paperwork in order. So it's just like, is it just the brown people who don't know how to abide by rules, laws, regulation? Is it just us? That's the question, honor students. Is it just us? Are we the only ones? Because there are foreigners from other countries that's heavy with palm colored people. There are many of those foreigners. They're here too. Go to the universities. They're here. But where's the headlines with them being rounded up? Like, I haven't seen it. So I just want to put that out there because I just hadn't seen it. But the brown people, like the third world countries, the 19 countries that he's like, yo, I don't even want them coming up in here. Let's just put a pause on them even coming up in here. They're pretty much brown, countries with brown people. So with that being said, this is why you gotta like a lot of people who feel like it's race motivated discrimination. But that's why I asked, like, what's the deal with the people from the other countries with the palm color people? Are their stuff in order? Are their paperwork being reviewed and looked back? Are they being stopped and questioned? Because here's the thing with the palm color people and ICE, what would be the determining factor for them to roll up on them and start questioning them? Because with the brown color people, I done told y'all, you got Carlos. They done overheard somebody yelling, "Hey, what's up, Carlos?" So they be like, "Oh, he ain't Carlos. He got brown skin. He got an accent, a Spanish. He speaks Spanish, and he's short. Let's go holler at him." So that's a prerequisite of what they can use or what they may be using with going to roll up on Carlos. Same with Maria. But when it's a palm colored person, what would they go off of? What would they go off of? Would they have to kick back and listen to them to start to speak to see if there's an accent, if they're speaking with like a British English accent? Because they can't really go off of the physical aesthetic because they look like the white people that are here. They're American. So what is the basis for rolling up on a palm colored person to check to see if they're here legally? That's why I'm asking these questions, because I know that there are a lot of people who are here who are from other countries where it's heavy palm colored people, and I have not seen in the headlines where they've been dealt with or questioned. I haven't seen it. So are they rolling underneath the radar because of the way they look? Are they rolling under the radar because of the way they look? Practice, like, it's ice, like, listen, though it's too hard to figure out with them if whether or not they hear legit or not. So let's just focus on the ones from an aesthetic, from the physical, who we can kind of have a better chance of kind of getting it right when we roll up on them. So if you roll up on a Mexican person, you damn near got a 50-50 chance on having one that's here legally or not. Probably a higher chance that they're not legal. But to me, there's less room for error when you're rolling up on a brown person than it is when you're rolling up on a white person who may be from another country. Very interesting. As I talk to you all sometimes, like, these things, I start to just think about just the situation more and just these things. And I get these questions that come up, and I just want answers, just like the next person. I just happen to have multiple YouTube channels where I can come out here and bring my questions to you all. But listen, I said it's hard out here for a pimp. Pimping is not easy. It is hard. It is hard out here. Everybody getting his work. Everybody is getting this work. And everybody need to go to work, Trump said. Snap, where your 80 hours, where your timesheet at? Trump wants to see timesheets. Everybody need to produce a timesheet if you want these benefits. Where your timesheet at? Where's your timesheet? Sir, I only see 20 hours on this timesheet. Where's the other 40? I mean, when I was sick. All right, then, well, go get better and we'll holler at you next month. Because the day of people been able to just kick their heels up and collect the check, Trump's like, nah, we got our tie, we on our Tasha K, we ain't got it. Everybody need to go to work and do something. Go join the military, do something. Pick a branch. You want to be a Navy? You want to wear green? You like blue? Blue is your color? Nah, you said, nah, black is my color. All right, then. They got all the colors. Which one you want? Which one you want? These are the times where everybody needs to be doing something. Everybody needs to be doing something. There are a lot of people out here who could be doing more than what they're doing. A lot of people are not doing anything or doing enough. So Trump, like, listen, you finna get up out the house. You finna go somewhere. Even if you ain't going to somebody's job for them to pay you, you finna be going to volunteer somewhere. But I'm gonna need to see your timesheet. I'm gonna need to see your timesheet. From my understanding, you all, this is going to be month to month, where you're going to have to produce this information in order to get your, I guess, the funds loaded onto your account, get these benefits or whatever. You have to produce this information. And it's expected for these countries to, these states. It's expected for these states to uphold these new rules and things like that. And if they don't, they'll be penalized. And that's why last week I talked about on my channel that there are several states. I think it was about 25 states at the time when I reported on it. The number may be higher by now, but there were like 25 states who came together with their, I guess, the attorney general for each of these states to file a lawsuit against the Trump administration over these changes to SNAP. And they're really in their feelings because, again, I said that if these states do not uphold these rules, these regulations, these requirements that Trump has set out, then they can be penalized. And they don't like that. They can be penalized. So that's why they've kind of filed a lawsuit against him, wanting, I guess, this whole change for SNAP to kind of go away, because I guess clearly these people already know they're not trying to adhere to these rules, these new rules. So they're like, okay, they're panicking. They're like, like, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work because it's not going to work. So let's just go ahead and file our paperwork for a lawsuit because we're not in support of this. So for the Supreme Court, when Trump has as of late, the Supreme Court don't always side with Trump, but as of late, he's been getting wins. As of late, Trump has been getting wins. And last week, I think it was on the 5th, November 5th, the Supreme Court has agreed to review the birthright citizenship executive order, the change that, Trump wants to implement a change to the birthright citizenship. And I don't even know if it's necessarily a change. It seems like you all is coming down to the interpretation of the 14th Amendment. Like, the Supreme Court has the job to review the 14th Amendment. That's what they're kind of tasked with doing. Reviewing the 14th Amendment, in particular, the first sentence. Once I park my vehicle, I can let you know exactly what that says, because I've arrived. But they have to review that because it's coming down to the interpretation of the 14th Amendment, not necessarily changing it from what I gather. And y'all can talk about in the comments. But Trump believes that if an illegal, someone over here who's here illegally gives birth to a child, their citizenship should be for the country of the parent, the mom. So if she's Colombian, she's in the US, but she's not a US citizen, but she gave birth in the US, he feels like, well, the baby's Colombian. The baby should automatically be a Colombian citizen because, the mom she's not legal. The mom is Colombian. So the mom is a Colombian citizen. She's not a US citizen. So the baby should be a Colombian citizen. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. But a lot of people are like, nah, like they want to keep it as the understanding of, okay, well, if you were born here, then you should just be a citizen for the US. I don't agree with that. I think if you're in a country illegally, or let's just say, think about like when we travel and say you're pregnant and you give birth in that country. I'm in Colombia. I'm on vacation. I give birth in Colombia, but I'm a US citizen. My child should automatically be a US citizen because I'm the mother. I'm a US citizen. I'm just in Colombia when I gave birth, but I'm a US citizen. So at best, Colombia then may be able to say, all right, then if you want your child to have dual citizenship, your baby can have citizenship here. But the default should be the citizenship of the mother. Do that make sense, y'all? I feel like this will just simplify everything. The default should be the citizenship of the mother. So whatever country holds the mother's citizenship, that baby should automatically be a citizen of that country. And if the country where the mom gave birth says, hey, your baby is entitled to also being a citizen here, bet, Gucci, fine. Like, my baby got dual citizenship. But by default, my baby is a U.S. citizen because from what I've learned and come to understand with people who are in the military, that's how it works. If I'm in U.S. military and I'm in Japan and I have a baby over there, my baby is still an American citizen because I am an American citizen. I'm not understanding like where these different changes and nuances coming from. What's up, Riza? I'm not understanding like why is that? Like why can't we just go off of that? Like I don't know, y'all. It makes sense to me. Hell, it makes sense to me. Let the citizenship default to whatever the citizenship of the mom. Because let's just keep it a G. A lot of times people will come here to the U.S. to purposefully have children here. What they call it, anchor babies. And now they got all these benefits and things like that because they came over here and they've given birth in the U.S. purposefully. A lot of times they already be pregnant. Y'all ever seen some women trying to cross the border? They already got bellies. They like, I just need to get over the line. I need to have my baby over here. Like it's strategy. Strategically, they're like, yo, like I need to go over there because if my baby's born over there, automatically my baby Gucci, because my baby Gucci, like I'm connected to my baby, so I'm about to be Gucci. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like, so Trump, like, hold on, Kimo Sabe. Let me see what this the amendment said. Let me see, because I wrote it down before I left the house. So, listen up, buttercups. Listen, Linda, listen. Birthright citizenship. The Supreme Court has agreed to review birthright citizenship, focusing on the meaning of the first sentence of the 14th Amendment, known as the Citizen Clause. All peers born or naturalized in the U.S. and subject to the jurisdiction, thereof are citizens of the U.S. and the state wherein they reside. So that's where we are right now. They're like, right now, the interpretation is like, okay, if you were born here or you are naturalized, you're good, you Gucci. Trump's like, nah, we need to make some changes because we don't feel like that needs to apply to someone who is over here breaking the law. Y'all see what I'm saying? So the Supreme Court got to weigh in on that. They're like, all right then. So they really got until June to kind of come back with a decision. The Supreme Court also may rule in Trump's favor to be able to give walking papers to employees who work for independent agencies, like federal employees who work for independent agencies. So normally the power is at the hands of the Congress. Trump like, nah, we need to give the president this power to have control over these independent agencies in the government sector. Trump argues that shifting the power from Congress to president could make agencies like Federal Trade Commission and the Consumer Product Safety Commission and the Federal Election Commission more accountable to voters who elect presidents. So he was like, yeah, Congress, they got too much power. We need to go ahead and shift this power to the president. Because if the power got shifted to the president, people would be more inclined to have some act right in these positions in the lower level governments. Listen, that's just what he said. That's what he said. So the Supreme Court, I think that was probably presented to them, or they were looking at that maybe yesterday. I think probably yesterday they was going over that. So I don't know, y'all. Sometimes Trump be winning these. Supreme Court. I think most of the things that has been raised up to Supreme Court since Trump has been in office his second term has actually worked out in his favor. Y'all can let me know, but I believe most of the changes have been worked out in Trump's favor. The things like that he's presented, these executive orders. Yeah, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. He's already fired. I mean, he's already fired federal judges. He's fired like 100 just since he's been in the office. These are federal judges who preside over immigration cases. There are already there's currently a backlog of 3.4 million immigration cases. That's crazy. We can't accept anymore. A backlog of 3.4 million immigration cases. Hey, y'all, peep this. Check this out. Y'all know how or maybe some of y'all don't know, but like when you're in the process of like getting your citizenship, there's like a ceremony that these people go through. So you might invite your family, your friends, your loved ones to come see you. I'm picturing it being probably like a graduation ceremony. You walking across the stage, everybody clapping. Like, I know it's a big deal when people get their citizenship because pre-pandemic when I worked at another company, there was like some people who I knew who either got their citizenship or had a family member get their citizenship. And it was like a big, something to celebrate. So y'all, so many of these people who had already gotten their approval, their stamp of approval, they're just waiting for this meeting, this celebration, the ceremony. Child, why they get they notice like right before the ceremony talking about, yeah, don't even worry about coming on Saturday. Yeah, no, we not doing no ceremonies. So some of these people who have already gotten like their approval, because if you're going to the ceremony, like everything has already been approved. This is just like the formal aspect of it. But these people recently got notices saying, oh, you don't need to show up to no ceremony. There is no ceremony. There, don't even worry about going to have to get you a little outfit. Mima coming in town. Like, there's no ceremony. Because we trying to get you up out of here. They ain't so even I guess these people who have already gotten their okay, Trump is trying to reverse the okay. So he's like, don't even go to the ceremony. So they've been canceled. Like From what I've seen, there's no like new date where things have been like rescheduled. It's just like, don't even worry about it. James, you say, yes, it was very big. I remember even though I was by myself. Yeah, it reminds me of like a graduation, like a high school or college graduation ceremony when I've like seen over the years, you might see clips because these people had to like take tests. Like from what I've come to understand is that it's not an easy process. And James, you can probably speak to it. It's not an easy process with getting, if you're going and following the law the way the process is set out, it's not an easy process. So you got to take a test. It's just a lot to it. So it's a big accomplishment for those who finally get there. Okay, because it was a woman I used to work with. She was Jamaican and she'd been in the U.S. since she was like 7. I live in Georgia, so this woman lived in New York, but she moved from Jamaica to New York, and that's where she pretty much was raised. But she just talked about all the changes over the years that she was going through with getting her citizenship. Now, I don't know if her changes started with her trying to do it on her own as a young adult, or if her parents at any point tried to do it for her when she was a minor. Because a lot of these young folks are getting caught up because their parents didn't handle their business. Like the young college girl who got sent to, where's she at? Is she in Honduras? Did they send her to Honduras? Y'all know who I'm talking about, the college student. I talked about her last week. She's like 19. She's gonna surprise her parents for Thanksgiving with flying home, and they hemmed her up at the airport and put her on a one-way flight to, I think, Honduras. I don't think it was Haiti. It was H. I don't think it was Haiti. I feel like it was Honduras. And so that's where she is right now. But she'd been over here, I think, in the U.S. since she was a young. I think maybe she was young. Like she was a little kid when she came. So it was just no fault of hers. So honor student, just a great student person or whatever. She got caught up, so they sent her to where she was born, back to her home country. Uh, but from what I heard, people who had tried to, go through the process the right way and things, they say it's not easy. It's hard. So for the day, what's up, Tim? For the day to come for that ceremony to celebrate just all of that, for that day to finally just kind of be in like reaching distance and you get a notice. That's like, I guess y'all think about is like you about to graduate college or high school and you got your little outfit together. Listen, you just ready. And then at the last minute you get notice that, yeah, it's a no-go. I So that's what these people are dealing with. I don't know how many of these people were impacted as far as by this ceremony, but it was just something in the news that I learned about kind of over the weekend. And I'm like, wow, it's real out here. It is real out here. Dude said the fact that the land of the immigrants is deporting students for no reason is effed up beyond pale. So it's gonna be even more being in a situation like baby girl, because with this birthright citizenship, if it works out in Trump's favor, even those who were born over here to illegal parents, they'll have to leave. I wonder how many. I wonder how many will be impacted by that. Y'all, do any of you have the numbers of, or when would that start? Would that have a retro date? Like, because I know I've talked about it on my channel before. Because what's going to be interesting is, let's just say that the Trump administration gets their way, and the understanding of the 14th Amendment is going to be that if you are born to someone, a mother who wasn't here legally, then you are not a citizen. Your citizenship is that of your mother's. How many people y'all think that's going to impact? How many people do y'all think that's in the US that they're here from being born to someone who was illegal? Then I'm wondering, like, at what date, like, when does it start? So would it be like effective, like, from this point going forward, if somebody has a baby and they're not at the time when they give birth, they're not a legal citizen and their baby aren't like, what's gonna be KM, you said millions. Yeah, like, so if we're saying millions, which I think we can all agree on, think about how visibly that will look. Like, we will feel that. We will see it. You will see a large decline. You will see a large decline in the population. Like, you're not like, I'm in this parking garage I'm in right now. Like, I'll be able to park in the front. I'll be able to park in the front. I'll be able to park up there next to the handicap. It's just going to be different if Trump gets his way with this birthright citizenship situation. It's just going to be different. Your children's classroom size. I have kids that are in school. I have one in college, two in high school. Classroom sizes are going to be smaller. They said that where was that when I was listening to the news for Louisiana. People, and I know it's in Los Angeles too, people aren't even showing up to work. Kids aren't showing up to school because people are running scared of being caught up. So it's already starting to be felt in the classroom in Los Angeles. I talked about that last week. People aren't sending their kids to school because they're afraid of like this whole, immigration ICE roundup. So they're not even sending the babies to school. And then I think in Louisiana, when I was listening to the report there with them doing their thing now in Louisiana, they were like, it's starting to impact the number of people who are showing up to work. But just imagine people being moved by the millions from the US. Like, you'll see that. You're going to feel it. Like, ain't no way that you won't. You'll feel it. I am on it TV. It's not even about Trump, baby. We need to start looking at the politicians that's been in office since the 70s and 80s. I tell y'all, listen, you can keep the faith in these politicians if you want to. We are on our own. We are legit on our own. There is no one coming to save us. You have to figure out what safety looks like for you, what freedom looks like for you, because it's no one coming to rescue you in the US, and probably in the world. Like, I feel like right now, these times, more than ever before, we're seeing that we're in it on our own, like us as the people. Because to me, I feel like we're in the times of the haves versus the have-nots versus it being like black versus white. Like, it's more of a social economic type divide. Because even when you deal with like Republican versus Democrat argument, the argument is still more so from a social economic situation. A Republican is more apt to be in a higher income tax bracket than a Democrat. So to think that these people who are tasked, their job is to have conversations with one another to come to an agreement, are making decisions on where we are to go in the future. Like, ain't no way, there's no reason why you should be believing that these conversations are centered around what's best for you. They're not, from any of the sides. They're not. Everything is about money and the bottom line and getting a little position. It's the optics that they're fighting for you, or they're fighting for us. That's what it is. So when you know, you know. When you know, you know. It's the optics. I see through it. I talk about it on this channel. YouTube don't always like for me to really talk about what I see through, so they'll shadow ban me and it'll mess with my numbers. So my numbers will be low. Today was even a low day, but YouTube knows that I listen. They know I be paying attention. I pay attention in a way that a lot of other people don't pay attention. I come out here to talk about it, to bring awareness to you, because a lot of people aren't kicking this information to you the way that I am. And it's no lies being told. You can go out there and research anything that I've talked about today, yesterday, what I will talk about tomorrow. It's out there. Go out there and do your research. With that being said, I thank each and every one of you. Please like the video, like, share, and subscribe. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I do Car Chronicles. Those are the days where I'm on the road, driving into the office. Outside of that, you can catch me doing a live with a walk and talk, or I may be just stationary in front of a computer, sharing some political fun facts with you all. But yeah, take care of yourselves and one another. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. So heavy on the taking care of yourself. Make sure your mental health is good. On that note, make it a great day. Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. I'll catch you on the next live. Thank you, awesome mods. It was awesome seeing you all. I think I had everyone in here. Maybe not Dr. J. I don't know. What's up, Riza? Riza said lifestyle and principle is more of a factor in political decisions no, now more than ever as well. Right. Hmm. When you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. I'll catch you all in the next broadcast. Peace.